This episode is made possible by IBM. They're the official technology partner of the USTA, and this year, they're bringing the Open right into the heart of New York. Don't miss the IBM AI Sports Club US Open Edition, September 4th through 7th at Madison Square Park. AI-powered ping pong, tennis trivia, and live match viewings. It's all there. We are served. We're a dumb little tennis podcast. We appreciate you getting up early with us this morning. We're here at Madison Square Park, IBM AI Sports Club. This is pretty cool. We have ping pong, some trivia, some watch parties open now through Sunday, final Sunday. Mike, what else are we looking at?
You just named all of it. That's all of it.
Well, just do your thing. What are you here for then? I mean, what are we doing?
IBM AI Sports Club. We have some ping pong where they'll do some match analysis, which we're going to do later on. Hopefully, they'll make fun of Andy and Jon. I will not be stepping in and playing. There's some AI trivia, and then every night they're going to be doing the semifinals for both the men's and women's, and then they'll be doing the finals. So come on down to the park, check it out. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm just telling you, just looking around here and all of the stuff that there is to do, all of the experiences. Our kids would love this.
Yeah.
Right? Hank would be all over the trivia, the ping pong, the whole deal.
Great.
JW, how you feeling? You're like, how are those 27-hour days that you're doing out at the Open?
Hitting the, what do they say? It was the business end. Good tournament so far. I live right around here. This is a great setup.
Tell us your exact address, like the number.
Yeah.
Tell us your phone number.
There's that, yes, this building right here. Very top floor. No, this is a great setup, though.
Let's get into some tennis because there is a little tennis tournament going on across the river in Queens. Anyone have Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz progressing to the semifinals? Yeah,
Brave pick.
That guy Novak. How's this for a stat? Novak in his 53rd Grand Slam semifinal.
That's absurd.
Like, think about, there's 4 a year. I'm not great at math. I didn't go to college. There's 4 a year.
Yeah.
He has like 15 years of semifinals.
Almost.
It's absurd.
Right. No, how about this? 38 years old, semifinals of all 4 majors. I mean, we thought we'd run out of factoids and adjectives to describe this guy, and he keeps providing us with more.
Well, here's the thing. Like, the last 3 tournaments that Novak Djokovic has played. The French Open, Wimbledon, the French Open in May, Wimbledon, July, and then the U.S. Open in September. He's like a part-time tennis player who all he does is make semifinals. Like, it's phenomenal.
Well, and he started the tournament. Yeah, he started the tournament. Everybody was like, "Oh, he looks run down." He's pulling his chest apart.
He was.
Now he's just smoking dudes.
Yeah, unbelievable.
How do we do that? Did anyone see his first round match? I mean, he looked like a 38-year-old part-time tennis player. And then he goes and beats Taylor Fritz in 4 sets.
At some point over the 2 weeks, he goes into the phone booth,
right?
Puts on his cape, and comes out. Let's get to the matchup. Sinner last night against Musetti. Like, these two, one, you watch FAA and you watch Demon before them, and then Sinner takes the court. It just looks different at this point, right? I thought we were entering the age of parity post. Those annoying guys, Roger Rafa, Serena, and then Sinner and Carlos just flipped the entire thing. Beating Bublik 1-1-1, and then beating Musetti, who is such a good player, 1-4-2. I mean, these are the score lines of when you play like junior tennis and someone's phenomenal.
I love how we all sort of grope for storylines. I mean, basically, the guy is just really, really good, veering towards unbeatable. I mean, last night against Musetti, it was like, this was Vesuvius versus Pompeii. I mean, this was not much of a matchup, and we all grope for how will Sinner do against a lefty? How will he do against Bublik, who did beat him the last time they played? How will he do against a countryman? And
he'll do well.
Yeah, exactly. It's no resistance, no resistance, no resistance. I did just have a Jannik Sinner iced tiramisu at Italy across the way, so he's no, but I think we all before the tournament said, is anyone going to interrupt the Sinner-Alcaraz final for the 3rd straight major? And here we are heading into the semis, and we all ask, is anyone going to interrupt?
I think the only person who actually believes that they can is Novak.
Right. Yeah.
Right? He's like, I've been there before, I've done it. But let's go through Sinner next plays FAA. Let's talk a little bit about his journey while we're here. Let's not. The great thing about sports is that we can have our thoughts, but you actually have to go do it, right? There's no script. So Sinner still has to play FAA. IBM Watsonx has Sinner as an 80% favorite. Does that somehow still feel low with how good he's playing?
They played last month. Same time zone, same surface, similar conditions, and FAA was broken 6 of 7 times and won 2 games. Not a lot of great recent history for FAA. No, 80-20 sounds, yeah. I mean, in tennis terms, that's quite high, and yet you're right. Those almost seem modest given the way Sinner has been playing.
Let's give some props to FAA, though. So comes in 28 in the world, is a former Wimbledon semifinalist. This is the second time he's made the semifinals at the U.S. Open. I want to say his career high was around 6 somewhere, beats Zverev, beats Demon. So even if he loses to Sinner, this is a much-needed turnaround event for Felix, who has a great reputation on tour. You never hear a bad word spoken about him. Apparently has a great work ethic as well. So it's nice to see when someone is struggling by their own standards over the course of a year, you break out, and what better place to do it than New York City?
We forget he just turned 25. I mean, I
know it's people that we penalize people who do well young. For some reason.
I can't remember. I heard a great quote, but I'm going to botch this. But it was basically, the people the gods want to mock, they give the word promising to. So here comes Felix, and he's this. I mean, there's nothing you can't not like about this guy. I mean, he's a lovely person. He plays piano. He practices hard. I mean, but he just 4 years ago, this guy was taking Nadal to 5 sets at Roland Garros, and we all thought this was a future star, and he stagnated a little bit, and we all sort of moved on. And you forget, 25, especially these days. 25, you got 10 years of runway ahead. So nice to see him. Nice to see him back.
What we do, and I think we're all guilty of it as analysts, is okay. The standard is set of peak performance and excellence. It's now been set by Sinner and Alcaraz. So everything is judged kind of in the fallout of that. But that doesn't mean Felix hasn't been a great player. Because he's 19 and has promise, it doesn't mean at 25. The guy's in the last 4 players on Earth
right.
of a Grand Slam tournament.
So then
that's not easy. We can't be dismissive about accomplishment.
So let's assume he busts the algorithm. What does he need to do to beat a guy like Sinner?
Listen, he has to serve great. He has to take a lot of risk on his second serve, right? When Sinner gets a second serve and he knows where it's going, I always make the parallel between, not too far away from here, we've had some pretty good baseball players, right? If Babe Ruth knew what was coming, it wasn't going to end well for the pitcher. If Aaron Judge knows what's coming, it's not going to end well for the pitcher. If Sinner knows what's coming, it's not going to end well for the opponent. That's why Carlos has a decent head-to-head, is because Carlos has so much variety, right? He can hit the chip, he can come in. He's so well-versed in so many different parts of the court. FAA can't be predictable. If he's neutral in a rally, he's behind, right? That needs to be the mentality. If I'm his coach, and that's going to manifest in some irresponsible errors. He has to be able to live with those, right? And then you're going to get the people going, well, he shouldn't have missed that ball. I promise you he's good enough not to miss that ball. It's because if he leaves that ball hanging in the wrong part of the court, Darth Sinner comes in and finishes him off. I like Sinner in this match. There's no reason to. You want to change your pick for our bracket showdown or no?
I'll
let you do it.
You want me?
And he needs some help with his brackets.
I was going to say, you need some help with your brackets. Is that the implication?
Shut up. So what they're...
Wait, say what you said before, though, because people, it's so boring. How could you have picked Sinner? Really go out on a limb there?
Yeah, it's like we do our live draw shows, and I pick I haven't seen the draw yet. We go live, and it's 128 names, and I'm trying to navigate my way through, and we do it, and someone's... You're so boring. You pick Sinner and Alcaraz. Like, sorry, am I supposed to tell you who I don't think is going to win the tournament? Like, I don't understand the point of this practice. We'll take enough shots. IBM Watsonx has Sinner rolling. I don't know that many people would disagree with it. What do you think the percentages would be? Yell out a number. Carlos and Novak. What's the percentage for IBM Watsonx? Carlos and Novak. Who's the favorite?
Very
no
good.
Respect.
Very
no
good.
respect. But you're right. But Carlos, what's that percentage? Way to 60. You were way off. It's 59. Good guess. I like that. There's no one else in the building, I think, that I think a lot of players enter these matchups with Carlos and Jannik now with hope. I think the only person who is probably tethered to belief is probably Novak.
Right.
And something else that this tournament has shown us a little bit is that we have very short memories, right? We're really worried about Coco, right? She won a Grand Slam tournament 90 days ago. Wouldn't that be a great problem to have? So much concern from so many after you won the French Open, right? Carlos Alcaraz, way back in January, beat Novak Djokovic on a hard court in a Grand Slam. Do you like...
Wait.
What? Sorry. Novak Djokovic beat Carlos Alcaraz. Sorry.
It's like Fritz's headband. Yeah. Had to flip that.
Sorry, way back when Novak beat Carlos in the quarters. Good. I didn't know what you were doing. I thought you were like doing sign language.
Serve wide.
Do you like 60%, or do you feel like that's low for Carlos?
I mean, one thing that's fun about this match, aren't there factors? I mean, one thing about Sinner, he's unflappable. I mean, you don't get under his skin. He doesn't smash a racket. He doesn't yell at his. I mean, it's just there are ways to beat him, but it's all X's and O's. Emotions could be really interesting here. And I like what Andy said. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard Novak, but he sort of said, listen, I started my career as sort of the third leg and the guy who tried to break up this sort of two-man monopoly. I'm used to this position and I sort of relish it. And who leads the head-to-head? Carlos and Novak. Anyone? Novak. Yeah, exactly. Novak beat him at the last major, which was played on the same surface. I think 60-40 is probably about right. Again, Carlos has played a lot of tennis. He's done a lot of winning. Eventually, you'd think maybe if he were mortal, 38 years old and very little match play coming in is going to get to Novak. But I think this could really be interesting, and I think there are a lot of factors. No doubt Watson has accounted for, but this has a lot more of sort of a sentiment, emotional factor than the other semifinal.
Can I ask you about those factors? Because I was out at the match against Fritz, and they went into some long rallies, and Novak leaned into the crowd, right? Like, he would win these long rallies. He's turning around, fist pumping. He's telling everybody he's doing the thing with his ear. He's winning and doing the soda pop, K-pop dance, Demon Hunters dance.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I
For his
thought he was
daughter.
drunk.
But like one of the factors for Watsonx is it takes in crowd noise. It takes in all the analysts and what they're saying in public opinion. So maybe that is making up some of that 60-40 is that he can get the crowd on his side.
It's gonna be interesting. I'll tell you this. I suspect, like Carlos, I don't know that I've seen a global fandom gravitate to a player like they have with Carlos. Even Roger had to work for it until he owned everyone's hearts. I don't know. I think it's going to be chippy, right? I think if they come out and the crowd's for Carlos, but there is no one who craves that situation more on earth than Novak Djokovic. He'll pick a fight to win a fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think this is the great. I think it's going to be amazing theater. I've said this before in the show. One of the craziest things I've ever seen is in 2021 when Novak was in the final against Daniil Medvedev. He was going for the year slam, right, where you win all 4 slams in the same year. Everyone wanted to be in the building when that happened for the first time since 1969 with Rod Laver on the men's side. The support for Novak was so overwhelming that day, and it was almost as if he didn't know what to do with it. Honestly, like if he gets in and it's chippy, I think that's better for Novak. I think he wants to make this about emotion, about angst. He is the best we've ever seen in those types of situations. I think this is about right with the 60%. Novak's only gotten better as his tournament's gone along. Carlos is in full flight, right? He is, once he gets that thing where he has wins Cincy. He's won. I think he's been in the finals of like 8 tournaments in a row or something crazy like that. We talk about how he's more inconsistent than Jannik sometimes. And I read a good article yesterday. It was actually in The Athletic. And it was like, okay, is he inconsistent? Like he's made 8 straight finals. Like the guy hasn't lost in a semi since like the spring in Miami. I don't think he's that inconsistent. It's just that like Sinner's an algorithm at this point. We're going to do some Q&A here in a second. Get your questions ready. Raise your hand if you have one. Let's go to the women's side. A rematch of last year's final with Sabalenka. Jess Pegula from up the road in Buffalo Sabalenka wins, I think it was 3 and 5 last year. Jess didn't have a lot of form coming into this. She said that they practiced the Wednesday before the event and that she was feeling so bad in practice with Aryna that she walked off the court.
And then went drink and then played escape room and went drinking.
Is that true?
Seriously. Yeah, I asked her about it. She said, "Oh, leaving the court was only the half of it." It worked. It worked though. Notice how he said Buffalo's up the road? By the way.
Yeah, it's not that up. How far is it?
500 miles.
It's 500. Well, I mean, technically, I'm right. It is up the road.
It's a paved road.
And make a left.
Take a left.
Sorry. Yeah, there is a left involved. So not up the road, but somewhere. 67% says IBM Watsonx with Sabalenka over Pegula. Does that feel about right?
Yeah, I mean, Pegula, all credit to her, but she's yet to play a top 50 opponent, and now she gets number one. They played a lot of. I think it's their 10th match. They played a lot of matches against each other.
Saba leads 7-2.
Yeah, Sabalenka 7-2. 60-40. That's about right. What do you think?
67%. I think it's right. I think.
Or 62?
I think if you asked Jess in a moment of honesty, she would probably tell you that this is the toughest matchup for her on tour. Right? She's going to have to defend her second serve. Right? Yeah. Sabalenka injects pace into second serves, attacks from the first ball. Jess has to have a first serve percentage over 60, I think, to be in this match. I don't think she can create the habit of being stuck into defending second serves for the better part of 2 hours and expect to come out on top of this. But also, we have short memories. Jess was having a hard time finding the racket face, apparently, in practice. And then she's rolled through matches. I don't care who she's played. You hear that she hasn't played. You can only play who's across the court from you. Right. I like Sabalenka moving on in this. I feel like IBM Watsonx is about right. This next one, IBM Watsonx. Be careful here. Anisimova, Osaka. Can we give some props to Amanda Anisimova for what she did yesterday?
That's correct.
Losing 0-0 in a Wimbledon final. I've lost a lot of Wimbledon finals. They're painful. It's painful on their own to do that. 0-0. One, no other sport makes you talk on court or on field immediately after some soul-destroying loss, right? And Amanda Anisimova was an adult in the room when she had to speak after that loss to Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon. You saw the fist pump after she got a game yesterday. She went on to win 6-4, 6-3, kind of exercising some mental demons. I thought that was just phenomenal. It has not been an easy 5 or 6 years personally for Amanda Anisimova for many reasons. Took a mental health break, lost her father. She is tough. We just need the narrative to change. She is absolutely tough. Gets the win over Iga Swiatek. I will say that ruined my bracket. JW is going to... Have you heard of a place called Lake Placid? Just up the road, right?
Yeah, it's by Buffalo.
Yeah. JW beats me in our bracket challenge on the women's side. Little love for JW coming through.
Sorry, a lot of love for Amanda Anisimova.
No one cares that you did that. Apparently,
know,
that's
exactly.
great. That's good news for me.
We're talking about. Don't you think? Going back to what you said before, playing armchair psychologist. Don't you think there's some correlation between sort of a macro life comeback and the ability to know, what's in the past is in the past. It's not. Did you guys see this? She actually watched the Wimbledon final. Before the other night, before she played Iga, just to kind of
really?
As painful as this is going to be, I want to see what I did wrong. And then she said she had to sort of counteract it and leaven it with watching one of her victories. But I mean, you lose love. I don't know if do you ever lose love at any level where there was a scoreboard, like not your brother in the backyard, but like
I don't.
I mean, that's tennis's ultimate kind of humiliation.
I don't think so.
Wimbledon final. So what a strange emotion. This is one of the great achievements of your career, and yet you don't just lose, but you don't win a game. You play the very same opponent at the next major. You get broken. You lose that first game. You sort of win a game, and then you say, all right, that's out of my system. Now we're going for the W. What a great turnaround.
Fantastic effort.
Yeah.
Someone else. Welcome back, Naomi Osaka, to the top level, right? Oh, my goodness. This is great. She comes out looking like a disco ball, just ripping people apart.
Labubus.
Yeah, I now know what a labubu is.
Right.
Amazing.
Was it Andre
Naomi Osaka,
Swagacy?
roughly 18 months post-maternity leave. Might have taken her a second to get back to this top level. She is there. Crazy. So a couple of crazy stats about Naomi Osaka. She's made it past, before this tournament, she had made it past the round of 16 of a major exactly 4 times. How many of those resulted in Grand Slam wins? 4.
All 4.
Nuts. If history is any predictor of the future, IBM Watsonx, Anisimova, they have Anisimova 71% favorite to win this match. You nailed the other one. How do you feel about that? Give Osaka a bit more credit on that one. I didn't say it, IBM. He did. Like, what do you? It's our serve fandom. But listen, Osaka. The other thing is, like, she loves this stage of tournaments. She's won 7 total titles in her career. 7. 4 of them have been majors. She is attracted to the bright lights. For someone who is shy, doesn't want to talk much about herself after matches, she can get to work when the lights are on. I'll tell you that much right now. It's great to see Osaka playing. I mean, what she did to Coco the other day, and a lot of the narrative is around Coco's serve, and rightfully so. It's something that needs to be remedied, fixed, worked on. Give her credit for never shying away from any of the conversation, by the way. But 3-2, ran through Coco, gets through Muchova, who had made the semis here the last 2 years and is a former French Open finalist. She's looking great. I mean, I would have guessed that this was kind of like a pick-em match, not a 71%. Or how you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, the head-to-head is Anisimova, but that's not recent.
Can we also, the head-to-head FAA is leading Sinner?
Yeah, I mean,
FAA beat Sinner in 2019. How much does that matter? Not a lot of head shaking. I agree.
Exactly.
Well, what the hell do I know?
No, but I'm trying to figure out what that could be based on, because Naomi's been terrific. She probably should have won, but reached the final in Canada. So it's not as though unlike Felix, it's not as though she's coming in.
I suspect that there is with IBM Watsonx, and from what I understand, and we'll have Cameron on from IBM to explain stuff to me that I'm too dumb to understand here in a little bit. But there is when someone's made a final at Wimbledon, and there is a recency bias, that factors in. That should matter. It does matter. I think what we all know is that, we know what the prime version of Naomi Osaka looks like. We know what she's looked like at this very tournament before. We saw with our eyeballs what happened with Coco at this tournament. So do you like Osaka or Anisimova straight up here? Before we get to the 71%.
I think I might like Osaka straight up. You just have a big props for the coach. See? All right, I got one person agreeing with me.
Is that your cousin?
Good poke. Thanks. Yeah, seriously. We'll see you at Thanksgiving. I think. I mean, I just watched. Maybe this is recency bias, but anyone see the match last night?
Yeah,
that's as high quality ball striking. I mean, just it's a great match, and it's both players are sort of sneaky powerful in their way.
I don't think there's anything sneaky about their power.
Their pop is not. You watch it, and then you sort of see it courtside. I think Naomi Osaka is really in a. Some of this is a sort of a mind position, and I think she matches up pretty well against Anisimova.
I'll tell you this: I was wrong. I was pretty. I felt as confident as one can saying that Sinner is going to lose at the Wimbledon final. Right? Or sorry, saying that Alcaraz was going to lose the Wimbledon final. I had Alcaraz winning that Wimbledon final. You know who had Sinner winning? IBM Watsonx had Sinner winning.
Really?
Yeah, and Johnny Mac went off. He's like, I don't know anything, and I was like, oh, they might know something. I
think Watsonx picks last 3 Wimbledon winners.
They picked the first upset with Alcaraz over Novak, which no one had, and then so what do we know?
Right.
What do we know?
I don't know. That one feels 71% feels.
AI's got a pretty good winning percentage.
This episode is brought to you by IBM. When you see breakpoints, IBM sees data points. They're the official technology partner of the USTA, powering the US Open app and website for more than 4 million fans worldwide. This year, they're taking it beyond the screen. Check out the IBM AI Sports Club, US Open Edition, popping up September 4th through the 7th in Madison Square Park. Test your skills at the AI-powered ping pong, dive into tennis trivia, and catch live match viewings. It's a can't-miss fan experience.
Do we have any questions from
Yeah,
the
so a little
audience?
fan Q&A.
We have a
Techie Sean's coming around.
Is Techie
with a
Sean
mic.
here? If you just wave down Techie
right.
Sean for a
Hold your hand up
microphone
high if you want to
and
ask a question.
let's get to it.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
morning.
Thank you for
Welcome
coming here.
home to New York.
Like your
Thank
hat.
you.
Home sweet home. It's actually a journalism question. With the passing of the torch now with Cliff Drysdale retiring, and then remember Bud Collins
Yep.
stepping away, where do you see journalism going as it's breaking up into all these different little podcasts for us to watch?
No.
It's us. If only we had a 60 minutes journalist on the panel.
No, I think you answered the question. I mean, I think in a way, these are strange times for media. I think in a way, these are really exciting times for media. And I think something like this, which would have been, it was, I always say podcasts were named after a device that doesn't even exist anymore. So podcasts have done better than the iPod. But no, I mean, I think, the Boston Globe does not have a tennis correspondent at the U.S. Open, but there are a lot of journalists who are passionate and like to tell stories and like to use data and inform, and it's just a difference in platform. Glad you brought up Cliff Drysdale.
Yes.
That's one of the great. Yeah, exactly. This is one of the great gentlemen.
Cliffy was in. I'm glad ESPN gave him his flowers yesterday. I thought that was a beautiful gesture. For those of you who don't know, Cliff Drysdale has been basically the voice of ESPN tennis for decades now. I grew up personally with listening to him and the fiery one, Fred Stolle. They were the guides for my tennis fandom when I was a kid. So thank you for mentioning Cliffy. We all love Cliffy. Everyone loves Cliffy. But as far as a question from where I see it, and John is certainly more well-versed in the space, I think Earth pays really close attention to tennis for 8 weeks. We thought that we could tell a story there's a lot of football field left from those 8 weeks. With YouTube, Apple, Spotify, you don't need permission to put content out. You don't need an intermediary. And I think that's an advantage for shows like us. I think it creates space very quickly. Live rights are live rights. We have to watch the matches in order to, there's no one who's not watching the matches who's listening to our shows, right? They all can exist together. It's not one versus the other. They don't really need us. We definitely need people to be able to watch the matches that we comment on. That being said, we just don't need permission to do it anymore. And so we can stroll up in Madison Square Park at 8:30 during the week and talk to you all about tennis without needing much permission, right?
Wow.
So I think it's a nice thing, especially for tennis, where we don't have a machine year round like an NFL or like something like that. So I think it's great. I think there's a lot of seats at the table, and we're happy to take one.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yeah, right. Oh, go.
Question for you, Andy. There we go. My question for you, Andy. So you had Iga on the women's side as your pick. With her now out of the draw, do you now have a favorite out of those semifinalists?
I did have Iga as the favorite. I thought she was the favorite. I thought she was playing the best going in. A lot can change in a short amount of time. Honestly, I'm not trying to duck the question. Looking at the 4 semifinalists here, I think it's as likely that any one of them can win as any tournament I can remember in recent history. I think Anisimova is playing great. I think Osaka has found it. I think Anisimova, having played in a Grand Slam final already, is beneficial. Same with Jess last year. I think if you have to, you give credit to Sabalenka's always there, right? But then there's a little bit of scar tissue with maybe not playing her best in a couple of Grand Slam finals this year. If I had to say something, it's Sabalenka, but don't listen to me. People forget that predictions are actually just guesses. Techie Sean, right here.
Hi, thanks for being here today. We all agree that the mixed doubles was a huge hit, and I'm wondering, would you have played that, and who would you play with? And it can't be Venus and Serena because they're going to play with Mike and Bob. They're not going to play with you. So who? Or maybe they would. Well, we all heard about your cup volley the other day. So
It's pretty bad.
yeah. So who would you play with? Kim's injured. You can't pick your buddy Kim.
Why are you picking out all my favorite people?
Okay, you can have
She's a lot of
Kim.
rules,
But would your
Andy.
strategy have
She's got a
been to
lot of
go
rules.
with a
Jeez.
great doubles player, or would you have picked one of your friends to have fun?
I don't know that would be an either or. You took out like probably the 3 names that I would have approached. immediately. I think there was a lesson learned. I think your question's a great one, and I'll certainly answer it. I think I'm gonna reserve the right to choose Kim. Love Kim Kleister. She was number one in the world in singles and doubles. So the premise of the question is both, right? A great singles player who's also a great doubles player. I think, and I was a huge fan of the mixed doubles. I think, kids going to see Louis Armstrong and seeing, Ben Shelton and Iga Swiatek and all their favorites for free. Like, we can disagree with formatting. You can be a traditionalist and like mixed doubles. You can't argue with the jolt of energy that this created. Now, can we adjust off of the mixed doubles? Can we include the 4 major winners from the other tournaments, right? And give more than deserve with Irani and Vavasori more seats at the table for the doubles players? No doubt. It's hard to adjust off of something that's not working. It's easier to adjust off of something that is proven concept. That's where I'm at with the mixed doubles. I think I would have been curious about it. This week, 4 top players is tough because, especially as an American, like you saw Coco not play in it, there are a lot of responsibilities. That Tuesday, Wednesday is when you actually do work for your sponsors. And then those sponsor visits cannot get in the way of your prep for the singles tournament, right? So it would have been a tougher conversation, I think, for me, just because this week was such a priority with life and the U.S. Open sprinkle on top of it. I love the idea of it. I think I would have done it at some point. I probably would have stayed back the first year and see how it all worked out. But I thought it was a massive success. I'll always choose more U.S. Open as opposed to less U.S. Open. The third week I thought was phenomenal. They have to keep Fan Week, in my opinion. They have to keep Louis Armstrong as someplace that you can go and take an 8-year-old, expose them to the U.S. Open for free. I thought that was a home run. They did an event on Thursday night, which benefited the USTA Foundation. Home run. As long as we're tethered to Fan Week being Fan Week, I think it's a 10 out of 10. JW, what'd I get wrong?
No, I mean, the one thing about the mixed doubles is it's great that it's attracted so many star singles players, but they're here to win a big title. So we can't have a 3-day tournament. We can't have regular formatting. We can't have a 64 draw. We need to keep it condensed. But no, I think this was, Eric Buderak crushed it.
Took a big risk.
Yeah, exactly. And this could have, we all loved it. It was fun. It got us interested for 3 weeks of tennis. You said that. Tennis is, 8 weeks a year. Now it's 9 at least here. The downside, though, this could have been an abject embarrassment, and they absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, and the other, to John's point, I've heard in the 2 weeks of fallout since, I've heard, well, I don't like this short format. It has to be a longer format. I go, okay, what made this event what it was? It was the star power. It was the Alcaraz. It was who got paired up with who. I think Iga made the event, by the way. Showed up from Monday in Cincinnati, showed up at 11 a.m. to play mixed doubles, which she's never played, made it to the final, spent 3 hours out there the Wednesday night before. I think Iga made the mixed doubles event. I hope she gets all the credit in the world for that. If you make the longer format, you risk losing the things that made this unique, buzzworthy, special. It's not as easy as making the assumption that Alcaraz stays in the draw next year. Sinner wanted to participate, got sick. If you make the longer format, you risk losing those names, which was the entire premise of trying this version of the mixed doubles. It's not as easy as just assuming that they'll show up again. So arguments about the format, what's the offset with who actually plays? That's the risk. I'm happy we have something to build off of. I think mixed doubles was slowly kind of bleeding out as far as interest. You see pictures from the final last year, not with any one of you, but tennis at large, kids, new interest. We constantly have to renegotiate the relationship with fans, and I think mixed doubles did it in a big way. Can there be adjustments? Sure. Is it imperfect? Sure. Was it an overwhelming success? I think so. Let's do 2 more questions.
2 more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, thanks y'all for being here. So last night we saw Musetti give it his best, got absolutely buzzsawed by Sinner. He's also like the highest ranking one-handed backhand left.
Yep.
So I was actually wondering about what do y'all think about the future of the one-handed backhand, or are we just kind of fawning over the legacy of Federer and Wawrinka and all the great one-handed backhands?
Yeah, there's some fawning. I think it's easier to return with 2 hands on the racket. It's easier to control pace from the middle of the court with with two hands on the racket. As the game gets faster, I think you have to be an otherworldly talent to navigate it with one hand, like a Roger, right? Where the racket looks like an extension of his hand. And simply, if you're a coach, right, and you look at the top 100 and you see, I'll get the exact stat wrong, but you see 4 one-handed backhands in the top 100. Are you motivated to be the counterculture and say, you know what, I'm going to force this one-handed backhand through and hope that it's still surviving in 15 years by the time my 8-year-old has a chance to play in the U.S. Open? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. I hope I'm wrong. I love it. It's the prettiest shot. Is it the most effective version of tennis? These days, our eyeballs and data and everything else is telling us no. As someone who is a tennis fan, someone who's covered it for a long time, make the case for why the one-handed backhand is going to make a comeback. I don't see it.
I was going to give you a hack that someone gave me recently. It's very hard, and the one-handed backhand just with strings and with high bouncing. It's really tough. We all love the one-handed backhand, right? This is art in motion. Here's a good tip that someone gave me a few years ago. Go to watch wheelchair matches. For obvious reasons, they cannot hit two-handed backhands. And if you want to see some really nifty slicing and some really beautiful cuts, these are tremendous athletes, but the one-handed backhand is the only backhand in the wheelchair events. If we all, we all love the one-handed backhand, it all touches our soul. Wheelchair tennis is the place to be.
I'm just gonna literally repeat what John just said. If you want to go out and experience the U.S. Open and you're not going to get inside of Arthur Ashe Stadium, the wheelchair tournament is going on. These athletes are unbelievable with what they do. If you have not seen wheelchair tennis, you have to go, give it a chance, watch it again, support these athletes. They are absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for saying that. And the one-handed backhand, that's going to be your fix. Phenomenal, some of the best ones you've ever seen. Let's do one more question, and then Cam from IBM Sports and Entertainment is going to come up while we attempt. Are you good at ping pong?
No.
Great.
So are you to me.
Hi.
Sorry, watching the tournament so far, what do you think has been the most surprising part of it? Like, what have you been most surprised with?
Go ahead, JW.
Oh, man. I did not, at least maybe 6 weeks ago, I did not think Venus Williams lasting through Labor Day
Great call.
and playing at a high level was going to be one of the storylines.
It's okay. We can clap for Venus Williams.
Yeah, clap it up for Venus. Not just playing at a high level, but also the sheer joy that she exuded. But it's been a very smooth tournament. There's been no crazy, a guy stealing a hat from a kid is probably like a big controversy. Sometimes these tournaments do well when there isn't a crazy surprise.
Yeah, I think I think we would be surprised at the fact that we maybe think Sinner and Alcaraz are even better than they were going in. But I'm gonna copycat John. For being on 3 years ago when we saw Venus Williams when she was playing regularly last, it looked hard. Her body didn't seem like it was physically ready. You felt like the motivation was still there, but it looked like the end was near. I didn't have it on my bingo card that she'd come back at 45 3 years later and be better than she was when we last saw her. The Leylah Fernandez, Venus Williams team. Yes for Venus. Yes for doubles. Venus had a smile on her face. She deserved some happiness on the tennis court. I don't know if and when we'll see her again. Nobody knows. Venus keeps it extremely close to the vest. But that matchup, the old and the young, and also the lesson learned, Leylah called Venus Williams to ask if she would play with her in doubles, not knowing the answer, and Venus Williams said yes. Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
And also props to Taylor Townsend and Siniakova, who beat Venus. Taylor Townsend has had an amazing tournament. She is the next bad answer she gives to a sensitive question will be the first. Props to Taylor Townsend. She's been a big part of this, the narrative of this U.S. Open as well.
For the U.S. Open, we collect an incredible amount of data where AI and Watsonx translates this into the fun insights you see at the app. So every single point of the U.S. Open is 156 data points. throughout the course of the tournament. That's 7 million data points. So IBM Watsonx translates that into all of the fun insights and facts that you're going to see in the app. So as we take this to table tennis, we're going to have this computer vision system up here is going to be analyzing your game.
Wait. This is going to analyze us as we play right now.
Yes, so as you play, we're going to have this analyze your game.
Is it mean?
It's a little spicy. So it'll collect 150,000 data points through the
right now?
The 2-minute session as you guys play, right? So
we normally
serve.
just base our opinions on feelings.
Well, that helps sometimes. But
all right, let's go.
So as you guys play, it'll analyze,
man.
and then you'll get an AI-generated commentary the same way that we would in the US Open app. So it's a little gamified sample of AI and what we're doing in the app. So Shelly's going to get you started, but before, do we have any wagers on who's going to win?
What does Watsonx say?
I'm going to take John. I'm going to take John.
What does Watsonx say?
For how
All
much?
Not a lot.
Remember,
All right, Andy, let's see if you've still got it.
All right,
Shelly's
let's go.
going to kick us off. She'll tell you when to go.
All right, John, I got a lot riding on you.
all right.
Not yet, you guys.
Oh.
No, that was 7 million
Do we need
data
a
points
coin?
of
Do we need a
a
coin
terrible
toss?
backhand.
And where's the kitchen?
Where's the
2 minutes, you said, right?
Yeah, do 2 minutes. All right.
Okay, ready?
Yes,
Oh man,
Okay. Match start.
you're fine.
I need Novak. I need to bounce 7.
1-0 Wertheim.
All right.
Oh, they got
Yeah.
my name up there. Horrible.
Ugh.
I'm waiting for Watson's X's spicy remarks.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Okay, you guys are not off to a good start.
We have a little.
I expected
audible,
more.
Is that you or is that Watsonx?
Maybe both.
Okay.
We have an audible obscenity.
Okay, so as they're playing, we're going to be here at the AI Sports Club all weekend. We also have AI-generated
You only got
trivia
90
over here
seconds
to
left, John.
test
Better
your
do it.
All right.
sports knowledge of the US Open. So come and hang out with us. You'll be able to play these games, interact with our technology, and also get some ice cream as well. We'll have ice cream served. So come and hang out with us all week.
Why do I
right,
always
how
get the
we
broken
doing?
one?
Oh, that was nice.
John, you got
it.
risk profile a little
Waiting
bit,
for
John.
waiting for spicy Watsonx. Ah!
Oh.
That was
Andy,
my,
what is it you say? Bet against the greats at your own peril?
Yeah, bet against the greats at your own
my
peril.
dignity leaving with.
Oh no, 6-2.
Oh man.
This is just.
Oh wow.
This is just. I mean, we're gonna have to stop the fight soon, aren't we?
This guy.
Yeah,
This
you've
guy
got
spent a lot
40
of time in the
seconds.
basement.
Oh,
That.
let.
Oh no, we're in no let universe pretty soon.
So Cameron, tell us about the different playing styles. You can play for like 2 minutes, and then it's
Yeah,
at the
so
end
you
it's
can
going to
do
spice it.
1 minute or 2 minutes, and then we'll be collecting all of the data, analyzing it
Oh
through
no!
Watsonx.
You
And
always
then
play
you'll
the
get
journalist
AI
movement.
summary.
I didn't
And you
wear
get
my
a summary each
I
time?
didn't wear my
Yes.
ping pong shoes.
Oh!
Oh, all right.
You know what
All
I
right,
like?
20 seconds.
You know what I like about this is I can just run out the clock.
You can, yeah.
You know what, Andy? You should do a couple tosses.
Tell me about your childhood.
Ah.
All right.
Should I do what all the other players do and just fake the toss to stop the shot clock?
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
All right.
smoked you right at the end.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna have you read the summary aloud. You see all of your player performance right
Oh, it says
here.
it's me.
This just happened?
This just happened.
Where's the commentary?
It's
I
coming.
want to hear
Exactly.
the.
Processing in natural language.
This is great. I might not be the only one ripping on John.
Okay.
In a match that had the crowd on the edge of their seats, that's generous. Andy, our whirlwind server, whipped the ball around with such fervor, it's a miracle it didn't develop a permanent case of motion sickness. With nary a faulty serve, I missed one. He kept Jon Wertheim, our gallant returner, perpetually chasing shadows. Bless his heart, tried valiantly, his return slicing through the air like a lone knight against a dragon's fiery breath, yet alas, as the impenetrable castle swallowing more. But Andy was on a winning streak, his pace as steady as a metronome. Don't know what that means, I didn't go to college.
Flourish.
It was too little too late with the flourish, sealed the deal, leaving John to ponder elusive ace, a concept as rare in this match as a quiet night in a kindergarten classroom.
That's very cool. That's crazy.
Wow. Who
Watsonx.
asked about the future of tennis media?
Yeah. And with
Let's go stand over here.
yeah,
Exactly.
well, welcome to the last show for producer Mike and Jon
Yeah.
Wertheim. My producer is now Watsonx, and my co-host is now Watsonx. Thank you for watching Served. We're gonna go do some trivia. Come say hi, do all the pictures. Thank you for supporting our little show. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Cam.